In the last few months, there's been a lot of change. And that's a word that we've used a lot. In fact, many of us use that word change. And sometimes we use it very lightly. Sometimes it has a pretty deep meaning. And so at times I reflect on that, changed. In fact, what's changed since August when we had our conference? A lot was introduced at the conference. We've asked a lot of people, a lot of resources invested in things since the conference. And so I focus in on a line. And it's a line that we've used for years, a phrase we've used for years. National strength, local commitment. However, we changed it in August. National strength, local commitment, and the power of the network. I think that's a pretty meaningful change. Everything we do as a team, that's the focus. When we have the team working together, that's when we'll see the power of the network. That's at the gardener level, that's at the customer level, that's at the most senior level. That's you as leaders of the organization, delivering a unified, consistent message to the market in everything we do. Quality, consistency, performance. So how do we do that? How do we really do that? Well, let's answer it. It started 27 plus years ago when U.S. Lawns was founded. We've done a good job with that over the years, a better job than anyone else in the industry. It started when I joined, for me. It started when you joined U.S. Lawns, for you. But the real action began about a year ago. That's when we initiated the Brand DNA project. Why is that? It allowed us to look inside, not outside. It allowed us to look at ourselves as an organization. Not who we want to be, but who we really are. And then it allowed us to articulate who we are better so that we can introduce the more newer members, the gardeners, the customers, the newer employees. We can articulate who we are to them a lot more effectively. How do we widen the circles? How do we introduce more people to who we are? We did that at the conference when we introduced the Brand DNA project to you. We did that at the conference when we rolled out tactics. And we talked a lot about strategy, about big picture, about the system, about the model. Those are all good, necessary. Strategy is absolutely crucial. But at some point we also have to work tactics. What are tactics? Tactics are things like colors, logos, website, career tabs. Those are tactics. And you'll see us continuing to introduce tactics like that. As you continue to introduce tactics in the field at your local branches. Absolutely equally important. And we'll continue working together, you and us, on introducing new tactics. Working hard right now on some training programs. Not training programs at a real high level. Training programs that you can apply at the field level. Things that will resonate with your crew leaders, with your gardeners. You'll see that soon. A date? No, not yet. We're talking right now. But it's going to happen. You're going to see that in a master sales strategy that we've been working on. And in fact, we've been introducing bits and pieces of it. You haven't seen it, or it hasn't been obvious, but just give it time. You'll see that. A sales strategy that allows us to generate leads at a local level. These ongoing changes will continue at your level, local level, because that's what change is. And they'll continue changing, and you'll see changes in all this. So I've spoken a fair amount about change. I've spoken about tactics. Now let's take it back up to a high level again. Let's talk about principles, the 4 key principles that I think have made us great as U.S. Lawns. Principles that change lives, made us who we are. We may not have articulated them well. I think most of us live them instinctively, but there are 4 things, and I think we need to learn how to articulate them better. I think we need to consolidate it down to some simple words. And I'd like to have the opportunity to share those with you now at a really high level, but then periodically, maybe we'll go back and touch some of these a little more closely so that we'll better understand how to apply these principles day to day. Because ultimately, that's your goal. How do I get in front of the newest gardener, the newest customer, share with them what principles made us great? So again, from a high level, let me share 4 points with you right now. First, the concept of brand leader, brand adopter. Great companies have brands that others want to follow. That's what that means. And again, we'll share more detail later on this. Second, economic interdependence. The more collaborative we can become with those around us, the more we'll have a mutual relationship, mutual respect, instead of a top-down type relationship. Important for sustained success. 3, abide by the same rules, the same standards towards the same goal. Very, very important. If people don't understand what they're working for, you will fail. You can't fake your mission. And then finally, one that I think is really, really important. And in fact, we really relied on this principle to carry this new rebranding project. Individual accountability. It's the concept of buy-in. Everyone has a choice. That's a basic human need. So here we go. Let's close with this. Talked a lot about tactics. We've talked about some principles. Those are all key to our concept, key to what we do every day. But now, let's sit back for a second. What do we do now? Well, one is, we got to get on it, guys. We've got to execute. And that's the fun part of what we do. We love to manage, we love to execute, we love to get out in the market, we love to get out in the community. That's what we need to do. Let's do what we do well. Let's do it consistently. Let's do it effectively. But let's get it done. That's where we can have a blast together. And we'll see tangible results.